Welcome once again. Good. True Hebrews United of the Lord, Yeshua, the Super Love, Holiness Instructor, Discipleship Drill Sergeant. I'm about to get into the book, this holy, sanctified, set apart Sabbath that the Almighty had for all men to rest from all their labors. No cooking, no cleaning, no watching TV, no Facebook unless it's the things of the Almighty. No going outside, carry no burden out of your house. I don't care if you got a package outside. You better let it sit out into the Sabbath. If it gets stolen, it gets stolen. Don't be carrying in burdens. Don't be checking your mail. Don't be buying and selling outside the Sabbath. Don't be doing any of that stuff. Sit down and serve the Almighty on the Sabbath. So, definitely thank those Ahia, who begot Yeshua, the only begotten of the Father. All the brothers and sisters, definitely the sisters and believers, keep standing, keep pressing, keep doing what you do. Now that we have a steady income, we are making income in Belize every single week. So we have income coming in both places. That's a major stepping stone. Hey, don't mistake slow growth for no growth. You may not be where you want, but you're better off than where you were. So definitely thank all the ministers across the planet, all the people trying to be in the body, all the people in the body, all the people that watch the videos, whether it be the Fountain, the Prince, the Yaya, the Marcia, the Yvette, the Gabah. There's a whole bunch. David Young. There's a whole bunch. I'm sorry if I miss your name. Please forgive me. I definitely get to you guys. Thank you for the support, the subscribe, the following, the sharing of the videos, the subscribing to the YouTube. Thank you for pressing. Thank you for leaving comments and whatnot. And go from there. Definitely, if you need to reach me, 501-1375. I'm not a typing person. Some of the questions you ask are super long, and there ain't no way, because I type like this, literally, ting, 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 ting. So you guys be asking me these biblical questions that take a long explanation. You need to call. It just ain't going to happen. So anyways, I've been working. I've been super busy, so Lord willing, this tomorrow I will be buying a better camera, so I'll be teaching. So the videos will be longer than 20 minutes, 22 minutes roughly, and we're going to get into the book, Lord willing. So I've been working mad hours. They got me working 12 hours, and this is cool because I'm racking it time and a half after 10. So 10 and 12 is double time. But after about day 3 or day 4, I noticed that my servitude to the Almighty has decreased. And then naturally your flesh will be like, oh, well, I'm tired, I'm working these 12s. But it's like, Almighty's like, no. Just because I blessed you doesn't mean that your servitude to me has to decrease. And I had to reevaluate, like, hey, that's right. I can't be decreasing on the Almighty because He blessed me. Because I'm worried about, hey, I need to get this for the congregation, or I need to do this, or I could get caught up in this and have my own personal goals or do things with the money that the Almighty blessed me. And so my servitude to the Almighty, to the Holy Father, decreases. I can't do that. So I had to check myself up, and hey, I got to pick up the pace. No matter how much I work or what's on my load or whatever's in my life does not change my dedication and my commitment to the Almighty. I'm supposed to be the bride of the Almighty. So, me having to say, oh, you know what, Almighty, I was kind of slipping. Let me get back on track. Let me press. Even though I'm working 12 hours, I'm going to still press. I'm going to still get my chapters in, still get my walks in, or I seek and meditate on the Holy Word, on the Scriptures. I'm going to still press through. I was like, hey, it's good to teach on that. So let's teach on that. With all that, let's let the fingers do the walking and the Scriptures do the talking. 2 Corinthians chapter 26. 2 Corinthians chapter 26. Oh yeah, you know I got it. If you want to bless, if you're like, hey Simon, I am so blessed by your teaching. How can I bless you? How can I bless you? There you go. Extreme shock. There we go. If you want to buy me a case of that, buy me 1 or 2. Hey, I'll be blessed. That makes it to when I get into the gym, go all out. All out. You want to see me put on some more size? This is how you take care of the teacher of the Almighty. You don't even got to send me no money. You know, see, I'm simple. I'm a barbarian. I'm simple. I don't even spend much money on myself. Just send some pre-workout. You'll be all right. Send me some pre-workout. If not, just, hey, matter of fact, if you really want to bless me, for my work, just obey what I'm teaching. You don't have to send me nothing. Just obey what I'm teaching. If you seek the Almighty and you're looking for a home, true Hebrews United in the Lord Yeshua, yeah, once you get into the body, yeah, we believe I'll be preaching on tithes and offering. These little foolish camps saying that's done away with. How you going to say you keeping the law and saying tithes and offering is food, was only food of your harvest, is all your increase? What if you're an iron worker and you made swords? What's your increase? What if you're a tent maker? What if you made linen and you made clothes? What, you just sent a ball of linen to the offering of your increase? No, you sold that for money. So that is an increase. If you're a farmer, you brought of your fruit of your yield. Yes, this is true. Not everyone in Israel was a farmer, stupid. Trying to say tithes is only food. Tithes was only of your crops. So how would you just give raw metal, untapped or the word you call it when you get the iron ore, just all in the rock and you just give it at the altar? That's my increase, because my job was I just picked and I digged for iron, and then I turned rocks and got the iron out of the rock. What you took this money because you're an iron worker or you're a tent worker, you made linen. You took this money, then you went to the farmer, then you bought crops. You brought corn and wheat, and you brought flour. You bought all this stuff and oil. Then you gave it to the offering. Come on, don't be that stupid. I don't know why they keep saying that, oh, tithes and offering is only fruits, was only your crops. Not everyone was a farmer, Dumbo. Who do you think built the temple? Masons. So they gave mortar to the temple? They gave bricks to the temple? Come on, don't be that stupid, man. These camps. The bottom line is you just don't want to keep all the law. He told Ezekiel, eat the whole roll, then go preach. How you going to rob from the Almighty? Stupid, and think you're going to make it in the kingdom. Just dumb. Man, that gets me hot. It's okay if you want to talk about me, but don't be robbing the Almighty. Super sinner. Now let's continue with the main message. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 26, starting at verse 1. Let's get it. Then all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in the room of his father Amaziah. And he built Eloth and restored it to Judah. And after that the king slept with his father. 16 years old was Uzziah when he began to reign. And he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jecoliah of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all his father Amaziah did. Hey, this is a righteous king. Let's keep going. And he sought God all the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of God. As long as he sought the Lord, God made him to prosper. He was prospering. Let's keep going. And he went forth and warred against the Philistines and brake down the wall of Gab and the wall of Jebnah and all the wall of Ashdod, and built cities about Ashdod among the Philistines. And God helped him against the Philistines and against the Arabians that dwelt in Gereba and Mehunims, and the Amorites gave to Uzziah, and his name spread abroad even to the entering of Egypt, and his strength he strengthened himself exceedingly. Moreover, Uzziah built towers in Jerusalem at the corner of the gate and the valley of the gate and in the corner of the wall, and fortified them. And he built towers in deserts and digged many wells, for he had much cattle, both in the low country and in the plains, and husbands, and also in vine dressers in the mountains and the Carmel, and he loved husbandry. Moreover, Uzziah had hosts of fighting men, and went out to war by bands, according to the number of their account, in the hand of Jehiel the scribe, and Messiah the ruler, under the hand of Hananiah, one of the king's captains, and the whole number of the chief of the fathers, mighty men of valor, who were 2,600, and under their hand was an army 100,700, 500, and he made war with mighty power and to help the king against the enemy. And Uzziah prepared for them throughout all the host shields and spears and helmets and habergeons and bows and slings to cast stones. And he made Jerusalem engines and built by cunning men, and be on the towers upon the bulwarks to shoot arrows and great stones withal. And his name spread abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. The Almighty helped this man. The Almighty made them strong. He did what was right in the sight of the Almighty, and the Almighty helped him, and he made him strong exceedingly. Let's keep going. But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. For he transgressed against the Lord his God, and he went into the temple of the Lord to burn incense upon the altar. And Azariah the priest went in after him, and with him 80 priests of the Lord that went violent man. And they withstood Uzziah the king, and said unto him, It appointeth not unto the Azariah to burn incense unto the Lord, but to the priests and the sons of Aaron, and that are consecrated to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for thou hast trespassed, neither shall it be for thy honor from the Lord God. Uzziah was wroth, and he had censer in his hand, and to burn incense. And while he was wroth with the priests, the leprosy even arose upon his forehead before the priests in the house of the Lord, and from besides the incense. And Azariah the chief priest and all the priests look upon him, and behold, he was leprous on his forehead. And they thrust him out thence. Yea, he himself hasted out to go out, because the Lord has smitten him. Check that out. And Uzziah the king was a leper unto the day of his death, and dwelt in a several house. He can't even dwell in his own house of a leper, for he is cut off from the house of the Lord. Because if you're a leper, you can't come in the congregation. You're unclean. Let's keep going. And Jotham his son was over the king's house, judging the people of the land. Now the rest of the acts of Uriah, first and last, did Uriah the prophet, Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos. So Uzziah slept with his fathers, and they buried him with his fathers in the field of the burying which belongeth unto the kings. For they said, He is a leper. So Jotham his son reigned in his stead. So he was with the Almighty. He was living righteous. And the Almighty blessed him exceedingly. But because he got this blessing, what happened? He fell away from the Almighty. So he put himself in a place he was better off not being exceedingly strong and not being helped to that much, because he couldn't take it. He got so strong, the Almighty, it said the Almighty was with him and blessed him. But because of that, he fell away. His relationship with the Almighty, he thought he was okay to burn incense to the Almighty. You're not a high priest. That's why I tell you, these people that make pictures of the Ark of the Covenant with the little box and the 2 angels and the wings touching, only the high priests were able to see that once a year for the Day of Atonement. So you people out there, you shouldn't even be seeing that picture. You shouldn't even be looking at that picture, because those are not from your eye. You're not no high priest. So what are you doing, making pictures like that? What are you doing, having pictures like that on your Facebook, in your room? And that you shouldn't even see that. That was for the high priest once a year for the Day of Atonement. They couldn't even see that all year long. But no, you just make pictures all the time. Make pictures of the Ark and the Covenant. Wonder why you got cataracts. But let's keep going. So this is an example where the Almighty blessed him, but he took that blessing and it was to his own destruction, because he forgot the Almighty. He didn't seek him with all of his heart. If he really sought him with all of his heart, that pride wouldn't have got in. And yeah, you're in your mindset, I'm going to offer incense unto the Almighty. But no. Don't get outside the will of God to do the will of God. No, that doesn't happen. It's just, shall we do evil that good may come? Whose damnation is just? You'll be just like a Christian. Oh, well, I know Christmas is wrong, but look how many people come to service. And this is this opportunity to bring souls to the Almighty through the Christmas. Shall we do evil that good may come? Whose damnation is just? Was he just? He was trying to offer incense unto the Almighty. Shall you do evil? This is evil. He wasn't a high priest. It was damnation. He was a leper to the day of his death. That means he couldn't come into the congregation to offer incense, to offer an offer unto the Almighty. He was kicked out of his own house, and he didn't even get buried in the same burial place with the other kings. They had to put him separate because he was a leper. Even when he was dead, he had to be separated. Isaiah chapter 88. Let's keep going. Praise the Almighty. This pre-workout got me going. Let's get it. Isaiah chapter 38, we're going to start at verse 1. In the days Hezekiah was sick unto death, and Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, came unto him and said unto him, Thus said the Lord, set thy house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Hezekiah was a good king too. Let's keep going. Then Hezekiah turned his face towards the wall and prayed unto him and said, Remember now thou, O Lord, and I beseech thee, how I walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. So this proves you can be perfect, because he says, I walk before you in truth and with a perfect heart. And if you're walking with a perfect heart, how are you committing sin? There's no way you can say, oh, I have a perfect heart even though I'm smoking weed. I have a perfect heart even though I'm telling lies. I have a perfect heart before I'm breaking the Sabbath and committing adultery and eating pork. There's no way in the world. So he was he was living blameless. He had a perfect heart. And it says, if you clean the inside of the cup, you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. So, and let's see what happens if no one could be perfect. He says, I walk before you in truth and a perfect heart. Let's see if he's lying. Let's keep going. And then came the word of the Lord to Isaiah, saying, go and say unto Hezekiah, thus said the Lord, the God of David thy father, I have heard thy prayer and seen thy tears. Behold, I will add unto thy days 15 years. So if he was a lying and praying and he didn't have a perfect heart and walk before him in truth, why'd he add unto him 15 years? It says, no liar should tarry in my sight. It says, all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire. So you know Hezekiah was walking perfect. So for all these people saying you can't be perfect. He doesn't know. We don't know what happened. See, the thing with being perfect, you can have a perfect day, which leads to a perfect week, which leads to a perfect month. And get to a point to where you say, man, I can't remember the last time I willfully transgressed against the Almighty. It's been so long where I willfully transgressed against the Almighty, I can't remember. It should be like that. Or it was years before the last time I transgressed against the Almighty. That's going to be the testimony. But let's see what happened to Hezekiah. I don't know the future. I know that I want to have a perfect day. By the time I go to sleep, I had a perfect day, so I can say, hey, I'm perfect. I had a perfect day. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I know I'm perfect right now. I'm not willfully transgressing. It says there's sins known and unknown, so there might be stuff I sin against the Almighty I don't know of. The Almighty forgive me for the sins I know not of. But as far as me willfully transgressing today, hey, I had a perfect day. I haven't willfully sinned against the Almighty, not to my knowledge. For me to know it's wrong and me to do it anyways, I haven't done that today. So I had a perfect day. Let's keep going. Chapter 39, let's read verse 1. So the Almighty healed him and gave him 15 years. Now what? At the time, Mordecai, Balaam, the son of Balaam, king of Babylon, sent letters to present Hezekiah, for he had heard that he was been sick and he was recovered. And Hezekiah was glad unto them and shewed them the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold and the spices and the precious ointment and all the house of his armor and all that was found in the treasures. And he had nothing in his house, not in all his dominion, that Hezekiah shewed them not. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto the king Hezekiah and said unto him, what said these men, from whence they came? And Hezekiah and said, they came from a far country, even from Babylon, unto me, even from Babylon. Then said unto him, what have seen in thy house? And Hezekiah answered, all that is in my house they have seen. There is nothing among the treasures that I have not shewn them. Then said Isaiah to Hezekiah, hear the word of the Lord. Behold, the days come that all that is in thy house that thy fathers have laid up, the store unto this day, shall be carried into Babylon. Nothing shall be less, said the Lord. And of thy sons that issue from thee, thou shalt begot, and they shall be taken away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Then said Hezekiah to Isaiah, good is the word of the Lord which thou hast spoken. He said, moreover, for there shall be peace and truth in my days. He said, at least I'm getting peace in my days. But look at the punishment. It was better that he died in his sickness and being righteous and have a nice testimony when he died than for the Almighty to add 15 years. And immediately after the Almighty blessed him, he transgressed against the Almighty. And that's what I'm saying. The Almighty blessed me with much hours to where I can make more money. Am I going to fall away and forget the Almighty? And I'm going to go back to transgressing? No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to be my testimony. It's the little things in your life that dictates where you going with the Almighty. It's something small. This is a big thing with Hezekiah. This is a big thing. But if we relate these stories, because these are examples to our everyday life, this is how we grow. Because all this word is truth. Learn from these examples that we can grow, that you get stronger, that you could be a powerful man or a woman of the Almighty. Let's keep going. 1 Samuel 15. Gotta go quick. Gotta go quick. 1 Samuel 15. Starting at verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee king over Israel, people over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus said the Lord of hosts, I remember that which the Amalekite did to Israel, how he laid waste from him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Go and smite the Amalekites and utterly destroy all that they have done, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, oxen, sheep, camel, and donkey. And Saul gathered the people together and anointed them and Talmon 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to the city of Amalekite and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For he shewed them kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havah even until cometh unto Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag the best of the sheep and of the oxen and of the fatlings and the lamb, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. But every man that was a vile and refused that they destroyed utterly. Then came the word of the Lord to Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and from him not performing my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. So the Almighty blessed Saul, to be king, and because he fell away, he turned back. He says, I regret even anointing this man to be king. And if the Almighty is blessing you in your life, whether it be a job, whether it be marriage, and you fall away, or you go back, or you serve the Almighty less, do you want the Almighty says, man, it's better for me not to even fix your marriage. It's better for me to not even give you that job that makes more money or gets more benefits. It's better for me to not even get you out of Babylon. It's better for me to not even open this book of the Word. It's better for me to not even give you that kid that you wanted or give you that wife that you wanted. Because as soon as I bless you, you turn back. Let's keep going. James chapter 1. Verse 17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turn. So we know every blessing, every true blessing, not the ones that the wicked one gives you, try to get you to commit sin and all that one. And he blesses his sorcerers and his wizards and his magicians and his fortune tellers and the people that serve them, their Illuminati and all this false church of Satan, all that foolishness. Yeah, they do their miracles and their false stuff, and they turn sticks into serpents and all that foolishness. I'm talking about the true blessings for the Almighty. That comes from the Almighty. Every good gift and every blessing comes from the Almighty. And should we take these gifts and forget the Almighty? Should we take how the Almighty blessed us and we forget Him? That's not right. It can't be. Because it will be better for Him to not even bless us. What if it's possible He could say, you know what, I'm not even going to bless him like that anymore. Because every time I bless him like that, he just turns from me. I'll just keep him living paycheck to paycheck because he serves me better. Because if I can't trust you with the little, I can't trust you with the lot. As soon as I gave you a little, you turn back. So let me just keep you right here. Instead of blessing you mightily like I want to, let me keep you right here because you're a much better servant. You're a much better servant. You're a much better son. You're a much better daughter. Do you want that to be your testimony? Deuteronomy chapter 6. Last scripture. Praise the Almighty. Deuteronomy chapter 6. We'll start verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of your heart, and with all of your soul, and with all of your might. And these are the words which I command you this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach thy children diligently. Teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them as a sign upon thy hand, and thou shalt be the frontlets between thy eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and upon the gates. And it shall be, when thou the Lord thy God have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not, and houses full of good things, which thou fillest not, and wells dig, which thou diggest not, and vineyards and olives and trees, which thou plantest not. And when thou shalt eat in and be full, then beware, lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. For thou shalt fear the Lord thy God and serve him, and thou shalt swear by his name. And thou shalt not go after other gods and of the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger